favorite class would probably have to be history.
I would have to say my favorite class is probably art.
Probably either world studies or my business finance class.
Probably gonna have to be honors digital electronics. I think I'm doing good. I either have A or a B.
I'd say I'm doing pretty poorly.
I'm doing pretty well except for math and science. They're not my strong points.
Probably not as well as I should be. I don't really put in a whole lot of effort into my other classes. I think it's because I feel like it's a waste of time. It leaves me just kind of, unmotivated to work for it.
Either when it's not something that I'm interested in, that I don't feel is applicable to life.
I don't see a point to learning math or cells when I could be dancing or doing circus.
I think it's because I'm not a mathematical person,
Because in some of my classes, I like them, so I work hard. In others, I take naps.
Because I do my homework and...
As students, we often find ourselves asking, how does this apply to my future?
Especially with things like calculus.
Teachers always say that we learn what we learn so, we can be more successful.
But sometimes it seems like the only reason this would help us be successful is because of the things the state requires. The 10th Amendment of the U.S. Constitution states that the power is not delegated to the United States by the Constitution, nor prohibited by it to the states, are reserved to the states respectively, or to the people. Currently, the education system is included in those rights instilled to the state.
I think the writers of the Constitution wanted to define that some things should be governed at a national level by the Constitution, but some things are better served through the states and the government of individual states.
Currently, the debate is that the U.S. government should take even more control over education.
But from the perspective of many students, a standardized curriculum doesn't leave them as motivated as they would be under freedom. But don't get me wrong, as a student, I think there are also many benefits of having a standardized curriculum.
I think the benefits of standardized curriculum are it encourages you or forces you to take classes that would increase your general knowledge because it encourages students to expand out and try different things such as art or theater and music, and if they excel in those areas, then they can pursue that in college.
The benefits from a standardized curriculum are many, actually, I think. One of them is that, again, students are learning the same things. Influences on today's curriculum are around accountability efforts, state assessments, federal assessments. So the implications might be federal state mandates, but they're also going to be what our professionals say are good for kids. And I think that we're holding ourselves more accountable, and when we do that, kids achieve more. I think all courses should be required. That's big, isn't it? I think we need to focus on the whole child. Kids need to have the arts, they need to have graphic arts, visual arts, band, music, choir, and maybe not all of those, but at least a taste of all of those. And of course, they need to have math, science, English, social studies. If we sell students short by giving them less courses and focusing only on what people think are the 4 main content areas, then we're going to lose kids. Kids need to be able to make choices, be able to make decisions within disciplines, but I think we as educators have a responsibility to provide the choices that are going to be good for them, and the kids can make decisions after that.
The movement towards standardization of the curriculum began back in 1983 when the U.S. Department of Education released a report that was really controversial. It was called A Nation at Risk. And it stated that the public's education system was being eroded by a rising tide of mediocrity.
We have a tradition of local control of the schools, and that's a tradition that has served us well. But I do think that it is important for the federal government to step up and help local school districts do some of the things they need to do.
I've got to agree. I think the education system got where it is today for a reason. It's important for the educators to have some control over the students, to give them a little taste of every subject. However, I think the problem would really stand out for a lot of students if the government were to step up and take even more control at a national level.
The current system is based more on a time when society in America needed, loads of minimally skilled people just to run factories. But now, with even more specialization of labor, I feel that the United States could have more room to expand and refine the area in which they excel the most. We took a survey out of 100 high school students. 76 out of these high school students said that they would rather work under a non-standardized education system. That meant that 76 out of these 100 high school students aren't feeling motivated to work under the current circumstances.
Well, I think motivation plays a big part for students as they go through high school. Obviously, if a student doesn't see any need for school, it's awful hard to be motivated. If they don't see some pretty rapid motivation for being in the class, then they get tired of it quickly, they give up easier.
According to the Alliance for Excellent Education, approximately 69% of all high school dropouts said that they dropped out because they weren't motivated to work hard.
So we talked about the pros of having a standardized curriculum. But what about the benefits of a non-standardized curriculum?
One of the benefits of having a non-standardized curriculum is that I think it allows for a lot more individuality in a person's education. And I think as an educator's responsibility, and my responsibility as an educator, is I try to make as much relevance to my subject to the kids as possible. You know, we get back to that relevance question. If it's not relevant to you, then why should I try? I think if we got kids more motivated, like in half and half, where one part of their day it's academics, basic academics, and another part of the day they get on a hands-on kind of vocational thing. Maybe they want to become a computer tech, video operators, and they get a chance to do that and get excited about it, and they see how the basic math, the basic English, and in their courses like that apply to that particular job field. And I think that's the answer to get the kids motivated.
So again, the debate is that the government should have more control over the content in schools.
But this is contradicting the 10th Amendment. The 10th Amendment holds what individuality of our education that we still have left.
To the educators, officials, and whoever else might be watching this, I have a question for you. Wouldn't you rather students in America be the most successful they can be? The 10th Amendment mentions that the rights should be instilled to the state or to the people.
I'm speaking for the students of America when I say, don't standardize the curriculum any further.
Let's keep what variety we have, because variety is what makes us individuals, and it's our individuality that motivates us.
And believe me, you'd be surprised what students can do when we're motivated.
And cut.
Is that good?
Yeah, it was a good take.
Cool.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thanks on camera.